Welcome, viewers, to Midnight Coffee with Faisal. A very good evening here, Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia. And thank you for viewing this live stream. For those who are regulars, welcome. Welcome back. And for those who are joining us for the first time, welcome. And please shout out in the box as to where you are viewing this live stream from. Yeah. Basically, the Midnight Coffee with Faisal will be talking to ordinary people like you and I that are taking extraordinary actions in their professional or their personal space. Yeah. And tonight, we are having a very good friend of mine, who's coming in live from Dubai, and she has been on this live stream earlier, talking about digital marketing, and we promise that we will bring it back again. I will bring her back again because we did not finish our last conversation, and tonight she will be with us. And what we'll do is that I will bring her on board, and we will proceed with the new topic. Yeah, the new topic about going digital marketing, where we talk about how to become a digital marketing expert and what are the skills on demand that is more in demand right now. Yeah. So with that, I will bring her on board. Yeah. Welcome, Kuralay, again to my show. Thank you for being here with us. And I know it's 3 minutes past 8 in Dubai. Welcome, and please shout out to our viewers before we go into the details of the session tonight.
Hi, good evening, Dr. Faisal. It's a great pleasure being returned here again at the conversations with you and the Midnight Chat. And thank you, everyone, for joining. Hi, everyone. So yeah, today we're going to continue to talk about digital marketing, and
Yes.
we had this idea of last time it wasn't really enough 1 hour, but we had an idea to continue on more about in terms of what is digital marketing, how to start your career, how to become a digital marketeer,
Yeah.
what do they do, and what are the main skills on demand right now, how to be on demand with those skills.
Yeah. Maybe you can start with that. How does one, a person, an individual, can become a digital marketing expert?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you know, I work in digital marketing field for a while now, and I'm working with the Martech technology company, and we have our own digital marketing services unit that I'm running here in Middle East. So I'm very well aware now with the market trends and let's say the scope of work of the digital marketeer. First of all, I think before we go into the how, I would like to cover in general the industry there, the market statistics, what is out there for the job, and also why do you want to become a digital marketeer?
Yes,
I
please.
mean, it sounds cool, it's fancy, but we need to understand it better first too. So first of all, I would say digital marketeer is a person who wears multiple hats, because digital marketing consists of many parts to it. There is a organic growth to your online assets, like a website, your social media channels, your email marketing, direct marketing campaigns, and there is a paid growth as well. So there's also paid ads that you can manage. There is a social media advertising. There is different advertising channels that you need to work with, tools, and to know that all how it works and be hands-on, and have those skills how to implement that in your digital marketing campaigns. Well, why would you become one of those? I would think of many reasons. One is because it's a job, it's a skills on demand. There are, with especially with the pandemic and post-pandemic, we have noticed a huge increase in digital world, booming the social medias, exploding with new accounts, companies marketing themselves online, and it's been already it's been very important for companies to be present online, and the digitalization was already part of every big company. Anyone who hasn't had a website had to build one. But now with the post-coronavirus also situation, everybody has to go online, and
Yes.
it's in another world. And now with the metaverse as well, so it is something that you need to learn how to be online, to be present, how to grab an attention of a consumer, how to market yourself. And there's so many channels, there's so many ways, and it could get confusing.
Mhm.
But it is on demand, and that's undoubtful. And that is why one of the reasons you want to become a digital marketeer. Another one is maybe you have your own business, or you're thinking to set up your own business. And just maybe to save the cost, you would like to learn more about how to market your business online so that you can do some of it yourself, and have those skills. Then, if for your company, if you want to start your own career, you want to you want to switch your careers, you've been always curious about it, that is something that you can do as well. You can learn how to become one and start your career, because it's also an industry where you can start your career very fast, and there is also a huge growth opportunity in this field.
Mhm.
So you can always be a specialist in a specific area, like an SEO specialist, or you
Oh,
could be a specialist in social media marketing or management, right? So you could be so many things, and it is always on demand, all of it. We're gonna go in more details about those skills. Yeah, how do you become one? Uh, well, how did I become one? I basically, from my own experience, I studied business administration in Limkokin University, and marketing was a big part of the course of the bachelor degree. But then I started my first, I did some internship with Limkokin as a marketing executive, and then I did my first official internship, in a world out there, outside the university, with Ibizu, and that was a marketing executive role. And so I think how to start is by trying, of course. If you can secure an internship role, that would be great to start with. If you want to learn more, there are so many online courses available. Some of them are free, some of them are paid.
mhm.
I personally done in the past couple of years, a number of such courses. Um, there's complete digital marketing courses bundles online on different portals, like the Udemy, the Coursera.
Yes,
um,
correct. Yeah.
yeah, and that is something very useful. Also, LinkedIn has plenty of those bite-sized courses to learn from. Google has a very good digital marketing complete course, certified as well. And then, of course, locally in Malaysia, I'm sure there are institutions and the short courses, diplomas, if you want to take your studies further. And as well here in Dubai and UAE, I know a few, like Astrolabs.
Mhm.
There are so many institutes and online scholarships you can take on and study. And then, of course, YouTube, right? You can learn so many things by just being curious.
Yes, yes.
Like if I just go on Google right now and Google the thing is like, well, what is the SEO, or how to become an SEO specialist? You can pretty much find answers for any question there. And because it is also online marketing, and people learn online marketing online. So there's something very easy to do as well.
Oh,
But it requires time, and then of course practice.
okay. All right. I mean, thank you, Kuralay, for that great introduction. I know you are not well, and I wish you a speedy recovery. And if you need to rest your vocal cord for a while before you cough, you just mute. Yeah. Okay, no problem. And I understand that. All right. So, uh, f- uh, this is where, I mean, attending the training is one thing. I mean, we can do the training. I mean, we can go to YouTube, you can go to all those Udemy and all those things, all the classes and all things like what we've discussed the last episode. Uh, we can read, we can attend all this training, but at the end of the day, you have to uh, apply it. Application is just like doing this live stream. I did the research and then I still don't fully understand until I do it. So this is where I would like to know from you is that okay, if a person who attended all this training, uh, what would they need to do? What would be their next step after they have completed their training?
Yeah. Well, it also depends on what trainings you attend. For example, I did a couple of them that were very practical.
Mhm.
They would share the real examples and the links to the tools, to some free samples that you can actually go there as a mock-up and try it out. For example, one of them is the Google Analytics tool, and you can have a quick account look there. There is available one like a mock-up, so you can play around and see and then understand how
I
the statistics work
see.
with Google Analytics
I
and what
see.
is it for.
Mhm.
So there's lots of practical courses out there that already give you those tools, and you can just click and go there and try it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, of course, you do your research and you create the accounts. For example, if you want to become a social media manager, social media marketing
Mhm.
manager, you want to, of course, create those pages and try to explore Facebook ad manager, Facebook ad library, the Instagram ads, how it works, what are the exactly what's included in Instagram ad analytics, in the insights of Instagram page, what kind of pages are there. So you do all that research, and I mean, if you're really passionate about, you would be really curious and dig in deeper in that. I've lately discovered that Pinterest is also a very
Yes.
cool place to study. You
Ah,
wouldn't think like it's a place of ideas and content, right? You
yeah.
grab an idea and you just use it to create the content from Pinterest, but actually it's a very great source of learning. There's those short videos people post about digital marketing and tips and tricks and where
Mhm.
to learn and where to find it. Yeah, so that is something that is also a place where you can find those tips.
So that means you select, you be more selective in terms of your training provider, so that
Yeah,
whatever training that you went through, they also have mock-up and all those things for you to practice and apply and later apply to your own website. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Before that, I would say I would like to take one comment that is coming in from Mastura. Mastura
Mm.
is our regular. Hi Mastura. It says hi Doc, hi Kuralay,
I
and
must.
thank you for viewing this live, and she's commenting that it's an interesting topic that business need to follow and adapt in the digital
Yeah.
trend for market nowadays. And I would like to touch base with you on Mastura's business. She's an entrepreneur. I know her personally, and she is running a scuba retail, a scuba diving businesses, and all those things.
Okay.
Yeah, and also diving. So maybe you can link to some of the non-digital, so to speak, the non-digital business where you need to go to the sea and dive, but
Mhm.
in the marketing, in selling the services, how do you, in your opinion as a digital marketing expert, how does people like Mastura, yeah,
Yeah.
can go digital instead of just relying on a face-to-face? Yeah.
Yeah,
Kuralay?
absolutely. Well, it depends, right? Is her business, is her one shop or multiple shops I attached to the hotel? Because you know, when there is a footfall already at the hotel, you gain the credibility and the brand awareness by that.
Yeah.
But if it is a standalone shop and services that are in a highly competitive location, of course you want to get out there online and grab more audience, and in that case it would be more important for you to go online, and you would rush with it better more, right?
Yes.
So yeah, in that case I would suggest, of course, it is something where you take your tools and you go dive in, and it's an experience. But it's also, I can imagine, it's a very exciting kind of activity. I personally don't like diving, but it is very exciting for many people, and I like seeing pictures of people diving or videos.
Yeah.
It is something that I am personally scared of, but many people enjoy, and it's also a prestigious kind of sport. So an experience itself, I would assume it would be the best place to share it through social media videos, to build a very highly interactive website, or
Mhm.
at least for a website to have a form field where you can collect those leads and collect the bookings, so it will be connected to your calendar and bookings. And then, of course, if it is also a highly competitive market out there in a location Mastura's business is in, I would go for specific targeting ads or geolocation tags, or optimizing the SEO for the website based
Mhm.
on that. But yeah, I believe it would be something very important to transmit through pictures and videos, through customer testimonials, and consumer generated content.
Okay.
And it would be very picturesque to share this scuba diving experience. So social media would be the right place,
All right.
like Instagram and TikTok Reels.
Okay. All right. Okay. I hope Mastura has pick up some of the points here. But you did mention about few things just now about training and then applying it and doing it. So do you need this can you write on a free social media to do your digital marketing? Like Facebook is free, and Instagram is free unless you are premium account, right? So if we are just using Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, that uh, how do we actually uh, get the uh, hits, yeah, where you talk about SEO and all those things, uh, for the user, for example.
Okay, so you mean on social media or for the website?
No, this way, two things. Number one, can we just rely on social media, or do you suggest companies to have their own website, like putting it on Wix or WordPress and all those things?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The website is the first thing, of course. But yeah, there are only few businesses like in a niche market that I can't even think about any. But you really need to have a website, because that's the first face value that you show to the company. And
Okay.
people, when they want to just Google about your company, or even about the person who represents the company, first thing they would look at, if you do have a website, or at least if your email is following your corporate domain,
Ah,
if you have a domain name, that is sort of authoritative. It's like a business card. It is a must-have. Even though you are not really driving any leads, or your customers are not really coming through the website, they would be coming through social media or through other channels. But you still need to have one, at least an
ah,
informative couple of pages where you talk about your business, what you do, either it's a product or service.
all right. So that means your advice is that for any
I would
business
say
entity.
nowadays it's the opposite. If you do-
Hang on, yeah, we lost your.
Sorry, I think I have your.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. So
Yes.
the thing is, what I'm saying here is that you are suggesting for all businesses to have their own website. Does not matter on whether they are on whatever platform is, and then couple their website to the
Yes.
social media, the free one, like the what you call that, the Facebook,
Yes.
Instagram, TikTok, and all those things. All right, okay, and to have a domain
Yes.
email, because sometimes even see you even see businesses and on the social media is still using a Gmail sort of email account, and sometimes, yeah, you are right. Sometimes people like me, who as a buyer or as a user, when see a Gmail there, you say, this a legit business, or is it a scam, that sort of things, yeah. All
Yeah.
right, okay, okay, continue, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but there are also maybe there might be exclusions. For example, if it is a purely e-commerce business, or it is, let's say, arts and crafts business, It's something that you can utilize on a marketplace. So you can open your microsite or page on a marketplace. If you
Ah,
do your own arts, it's etsy.com, and there's plenty of those. There are tools like that. You don't really have to create your own domain or page separately. So
mm,
it depends. If you start small, you can always go for the marketplaces, Amazon pages. So you can create your own shop in the Amazon platform, on the
ah,
Amazon marketplace.
yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
there are platforms already that do marketing for you, and they give you all the tools to create your page. All you just need to do is uploading your product there in information and then running the business there. It's like a
Mm,
ready-made tool.
okay.
Yeah, those are the exclusions. But other than that, I believe it is very important to have your own web page.
Yeah, I think Mastura responded to our conversation. Yeah, Kuralay.
Oh,
We
yeah,
just take some of her comments. Yeah, thank you, Kuralay. Good point. Yes,
awesome.
yeah, she did have a reel on the her IG, TikTok diving videos too. And also they have their own website and domain. So it's I mean they are on the right track. The way I see it. Yeah,
That's very
and
good. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Yeah. And she agreed that to have a official email, not the Gmail, to look more
yes.
professional. Okay, now, okay, so that I mean, having said that, we have done the training, we've set up the website, we have done all those things. What's next that the person should do? If we want to talk about how do we
Yeah,
want to become how do we
yeah.
want to go about digital marketing and how do we become expert? Maybe you can share with
Yeah,
us.
absolutely. Yeah, it's not only about like setting up your website. You learn those skills and you apply them on creating the website, branding, creating the website, or building the plan for marketing. It's the rest of it. How are you going to market that digital asset? Let's say it's a website or social media. How are you going
Uh,
to market it? Because it's a continuous job. It's a continuous work to do. So from month to month, you have the calendar of activities for that, how to market it, how to drive the traffic to your pages, whether that's on social media, whether that's your advertisement campaign or it's your website, how to drive traffic. If you do only email marketing campaigns, let's say you are sending a newsletter directly in the inbox of your customers, you also want to think about it. How are you going to get that customer open that email? Because not everybody opens the emails. It depends on subject line,
yeah, yeah.
right? So there's also technical part of it, how to deliver that email into the inbox, not into the spam folder. So there's lots of things to learn for each of those aspects. So once you start learning it, and when you start doing it, you will learn how to do it best. But you need to figure out in the end. I would say you will start as a business. If you don't know exactly what to start with, you can start with a little bit of everything. Like you can do a bit of email marketing, maybe monthly, once a month newsletter. You can do social media,
Uh-huh.
posting 5 posts a week. You have the calendar, and you can start doing it yourself as well, marketing yourself. You can create a website and updating the content once a month, or twice, once in 2 months, just to keep it fresh all the time. So that's the things you can do, and then eventually you learn what works best, what brings you
Mm.
more traffic, what generates more revenue, and the way you can actually start investing more money or more time.
Mhm. So how can we find where does this traffic come from? I know there's an analytics part, but I mean looking at analytics, I mean even like our live stream now, I look at the analytics, but sometimes it doesn't. It's just garbage. I have to go and ask somebody. How to interpret those things. How does
Yeah,
one? Is it part of the training? How to interpret the analytics and all those things?
absolutely. So yeah, here we come to the part where what are the skills on demand. And the number one skill, as here, for example, if I share now the screen, will I be able to share the screen now?
Can you share?
Yes, I do. I have a button here. Okay, so I just want to go ahead and share here from Michael Page. This is an article about top 7 skills in a digital marketing experts.
Okay.
Can you see the screen now,
Yes, yes.
Dr.
Yes,
Faisal?
yes, I can hear you and we can
Okay,
see the screen.
awesome.
Yeah.
So as you can see, the number one they actually is data analysis.
Uh,
So you might think like, what does it have to do with marketing or data analysis is a complete different field. But as I mentioned in the beginning of our session, a digital marketeer wears multiple hats. So one of them is being a data analyst. You need to understand how to read the information. First of all, where to gather it best, how to gather it, how to compile it, categorize it, then how to read it, and then, of course, as you said, translate it. So there's a lot of procedures, but you can also implement different softwares, as they mentioned here, that can help you to transmit that information.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Google Data Studio that portrays the best. So you don't really have to use Google Analytics or many other tools at the back end, like you're using here Restream, and you have different kind of feedback from it. You can implement it all in one tool, such as Google Data Studio, which can show you most of this information put together. And it's an easier way to see it as an interface. But as a business, as a digital marketeer, you would want to understand the data where it comes from,
Ah,
and how to interpret it,
yeah, yeah.
because then it's something, it's valuable for you to know how to continue with marketing, how to grow your business, what else can you implement, what has to be changed, and that is a crucial part of digital marketing, is the data,
Okay. All
because
right.
pretty much everything built on it
Yeah.
and around it. And then
Mhm.
the second very important part, of course, is the content creation. Everything I discussed, yeah,
Yeah.
everything I discussed before, like building your own website, creating a brand, sending email marketing, even optimizing your website to the Google ranking. It's
Uh-huh.
all content creation. Social media, it's all content creation. So there's a creative part to it, where you have to create the content that will attract the customer, the right consumer. So there's lots of work comes into the content creation.
Yes.
There's lots of
Yeah.
time going
It's not
to
easy,
content creation.
It's not easy,
No, not at all.
Content creation is not
Yeah, and
easy.
here and when we talk about content creation, many people think about like the Instagram post, pictures, and so. There's so many behind it.
Yes.
There's a text, there's a copywriting, so you really need to write good. You need to know how to capture the attention of a customer with the first three words.
Yes. Correct.
Like this article says, that the subject 7 skills required to become a digital marketing expert. That's a very good
Ah,
title for the article.
yes, yes, yes.
Then there's also a content which is not seen to a human eye. For example, when you go on a website, there are a lot of meta tags. There's a headline itself that might say Michael Page is the career advice and so on.
Mm-hmm.
As there are different layers of that headline, the second and the third and fourth layer, something that marketeers put there as optimizing that headline for the
Mm-hmm.
Google robots, for Google algorithms to read. So as
Um,
a visitor of the website, I might not see those.
yeah.
And just what I see is this page, the content, the face content.
Uh-huh.
But under this page, there's lots of meta tag. There is lots of alternative text. Like this picture has an alternative text that is also optimized for Google to read it, to
I
understand what is
see.
that picture about and where to rank it, relevant for this article, and so on. There's lots of content. It's not only the one that you see with your eyes, but there's also something that is like your hashtags as well, right?
Yes,
That's
correct.
also a content.
Ah, okay, okay. All right, all right, all right.
Links and hashtags, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we talk about the rest of the skills like SEO and SEM. This is something that I've just touched on. Search engine optimization. And by the way, me and my company, Liana Technologies, are running very soon on April 7th our SEO optimization and the fundamentals of SEO free
Uh-huh.
webinar. So
Ah,
that's
okay.
happening live.
Okay.
And it will be with me and my colleague from Finland. So it's going to be a very international environment.
Okay.
Um,
Do you have that?
I think it's
Do you have the detail of that? Maybe you can pop out maybe you can share that webinar so that when visitors when they come and look at they know where to go, or is it available on your LinkedIn?
available on my LinkedIn,
Okay, correct.
but I can also share maybe a link here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll find the link quickly now and I will share one with you.
No, we can do it later. No problem. Yeah, just in case that we don't want you to forget, or while you are resting your vocal cord, while you are resting your vocal cord, there's a question from Mastura. Kuralay, what do you think of blasting an email as marketing strategy compared to all the social media platform? Maybe you want to take it later when you have recovered.
Yeah, I can reply straight away.
Okay, all right.
I
I will
think
show the question. Yeah,
blasting an email as a marketing strategy compared
yeah.
to all the social media platforms. I think it's a brilliant idea. And email marketing, and I've been saying that to my customers and prospects for the past 6 years, every time email marketing is in fact is number one direct marketing channel
Mhm,
in the way that it brings you more ROI, return on
mhm.
investment, than any other marketing digital marketing channel. It brings you more return on investment than the social media
Okay,
when it's done right.
let me hide
So
the screen first.
yeah,
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 let
the
me hide
email
screen
marketing
first.
is some yes, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, the social media marketing is not really a direct marketing. It is a content marketing. It's a fellowship marketing. So there are different algorithms. So, for example, if you post something organically on social media, or you promote your post, so it's an ad campaign
Mhm.
on Instagram or Facebook or so on, it still takes a customer. It could be a right customer with the right mindset, ready to buy that service, but it still takes that customer at least maybe I don't know how many scrolls to do until they reach that content, that feed, or maybe
Ah,
they will never reach it. And then
ah,
there's different algorithms that prevent them from seeing that, but that's the right customer and they're ready to buy now. So when you go with it with email marketing, it's a direct channel and it doesn't cost you as much. You and here the question is the data. You need to have a valid data for that customer to go into the inbox directly, and then of course the right message. So you cannot really and have a right strategy. You cannot really bombard them with 5 newsletters a week because I'll guarantee they will unsubscribe or
yeah.
even block you or put you in a
Yeah.
spam
Or you
box, and
report
then
it as
you'll be
spam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But but
right.
uh, but does the what about the people using AdSense on Google? You know, sometimes in a Google mailbox, they have AdSense.
Yes,
Do you think
that's a
that is
very good
also
way
good?
to do it. Yeah.
Okay, so AdSense
Yes,
is
it's
good. Yeah.
absolutely great.
Okay. All right.
AdSense is great as well. Yeah, it gives you more visibility in the inbox. But again, it goes. Google has that division since many years now. That it goes into the promotion folder,
Yeah.
so it's not really an inbox, primary inbox.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's a very good strategy. Email marketing it is, and I think it's a must. But it's something again you have to do continuously, and you have to have a right strategy and the right data to do that.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Sorry. Can we go back to the seven digital
Yes,
skills? Oh, you stop sharing.
absolutely. I will share the screen again, yeah?
Yeah, please. All right. Okay. Now, all right. See you.
Yeah,
Because
so I was saying about the webinar, and
hello,
I
frozen.
think we
Okay.
have a connection problem.
Yeah, it's okay. No problem. This happened. But you
Hello,
okay?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, all
Go
right.
ahead. Okay.
Okay, very good.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, so for the SEO, I'm just gonna pop the link as soon as I find it. Moving forward is the CRM, that's the customer relations management, and
Uh-huh.
it's not really about the tool itself, but it's how to use it, because there's a technology, CRM technology, but it's more about how to use it. Again, it comes down to the data. CRM
Mm.
is there for collecting and optimizing and data, and then it's something that helps you to group the customer segments together based on their interest, likes, age, and so on and so on. um, and then for the marketeers to utilize that data the best for their campaigns, for their advertising, or to use that data to create a content.
Yeah. No, because
So customer relation management.
yeah, because
Sorry.
I know companies have CRM, but they spend millions to have the CRM
Mhm.
install and link it up to their SAP and whatever not their back end uh, uh, s- uh, software and all those things application. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it generates a report, but nobody is able to interpret. I think that's where you are saying that it's not about the system, but it's the data and how to interpret that data. That's what you're trying to get at, right? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. The technology out there, there's just so many options, and if you have never used any, you wouldn't really know what you're looking for, or you would be confused, right?
Yes.
So it's very important to first outline, to create a mind map, to do the brainstorming with your team, with your marketing team as well, to get marketing people involved. And many companies making a mistake, having only IT department or a purchase department involved in this kind of decision. But then it's actually about the customer, and it's about the data
Yeah.
and how that data is used later. So you definitely need to involve marketing people in this as well,
Okay.
because they will also facilitate in terms of deciding what kind of CRM tool to use, and that is something that will later help marketeers to implement other tools like marketing automation solutions, email marketing tools, because those are all integrated. You can integrate them so the data points talk to each other, and you have more automated process. So the marketeers don't spend too much time dragging those Excel sheets from one software to another just to serve the purpose of the one marketing campaign.
Yeah.
So if you have two systems that can actually talk to each other, and it could be all integrated, it could be a live integration, so that makes marketeers' life easier as well.
What about the companies that use bots? Uh, when
Chatbots.
yeah, chatbot. Is it because it give an instant response to your customer? Is it having a chatbot is a good digital marketing strategy for?
Absolutely, yeah, of
Okay.
course. It is very important also, but many companies just implement it for sake of having it there. But yeah, I know a couple of, I'm not gonna name the names, but I know a couple of huge, gigantic
Yeah.
corporations that are well known in the world. Um, I am a personal customer there that have those chatbots, but they don't really serve any purpose. Nobody is really replying there, or it is automated to that point that you can't really get an answer from them as a customer,
Yeah.
and it creates even more frustration.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you want to implement a chat box, it has to be done in the right way, of course, like everything else with digital marketing. So chat box is there for people to get a quick answer. It
Uh-huh.
has to be like 24 hours live, or it could be a live person to talk to. So if it is really working, a customer gets the value, and you increase the customer satisfaction, and the customer will most likely return back to you and buy again from you.
Yeah.
But if you, with that chat box, create more frustration, and the service is not that good with that chat box, like you don't really actually answer the query, and you create more frustration. And after all the questions you ask the customer, like those automated questions, right?
Yeah.
State this, state that, so that it takes them to some kind of answer. And in the end, you don't give them an answer, and you just tell them, just contact us on the phone,
Yeah. Please call us at this number. Blah 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 blah.
right? How many times did that happen? And I'm talking about some huge companies that could really, invest good money, and do a good thing with that, but they don't. So there's lots of frustration with that. So I personally don't use much chat boxes, unless it's a last resort,
Oh, so that means
unless when I
yeah.
call and I cannot reach anyone.
Unless they have some sort like an AI attached to the chat box where the AI is very what you call that, the algorithm within the AI is able to solve the able to
Yeah,
spot those pain points and then addressing the customer. Then else it will
absolutely.
yeah else it will chase the customer away because they get frustrated with your
Yeah,
website.
but that's if it is absolutely necessary for your business. Otherwise, I personally believe that people, consumers, no matter what kind of it is, a B2B marketing, B2B consumer, or is B2C, it's they always prefer a live touch conversation, live conversation. So if you have a chat box, maybe it's better to invest also in a company that will be behind that chat box, replying live, or your customer service department who can actually pick up the line and respond.
Mm.
But other than that, that's personally how I feel. And I feel like it brings more value when you actually speak to the right person and not really a robot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, okay, just just while we on the chat box, Mastura also chat box and
Doesn't like it,
doesn't know what is the answer. She personally
right?
don't like it.
Most of them create frustration for the customers. They don't answer anything.
Yeah. No, I think because they don't link it to the AI part where it goes to specific points or the pain points. I think
Yeah,
customers nowadays there are a lot of companies fail to realize that customers nowadays are very informed. They have
yes,
exhausted their search. That's why they go and contact you. If they have not
exactly,
exhausted their search, they won't be contacting you. They will be researching themselves, and uh,
exactly.
and after exhausting our research, when we contact them and they ask us to contact during normal office hour, we will get frustrated. Okay, continue please.
I found the link. So shall I send it in a private chat here or
Oh no, you can
right?
display. You can display on here. You can display here because if you send it the private chat, we need to display again. So might as well pop
Oh.
it out now.
So the page on the screen, right?
Yeah,
All right. So just stop sharing this one and I
yeah,
create a new
please.
one.
Yeah. Oh, I love this session. Very
Yeah,
exciting. Thank,
there's
thank you,
lots of things to
Mastura.
learn, right? At
Mastura,
the
thank
same
you
time.
for the engagement. Kuralay, thank you
Yes.
for answering her question also. We want to make sure that whatever
Thank
the
you.
thing is it brings.
Those are really cool questions, Master. Thank you. Yeah, this is the website. This is the page for registering on our webinar on 7th of April. It's going to happen at noontime, Dubai time. So it's about 1 hour. It's all online, so some of the topics that will be covered is the general terms of search engine optimization. What is it? What it consists of? What are the keyword analysis, SEO auditing, and why do you need it? And then, of course, what are the most trends for 2022 with SEO?
Mm, right. So
We're
there's
going to give out a lot of free things like
ah,
free SEO checklist, and we're going to give out also a free SEO audit for companies who want to us to do a research on their website and tell them what's wrong, what could be changed, what could be improved. So
ah,
there's lots of freebies during the webinar, apart from all the content and the resourceful information you're going to gain.
what day is
Uh,
that? Right? What
Sorry,
what day is that? 7th of April. What day is that?
7th of April. Yeah, it's at noon time in Dubai, so it depends where you're located. It's going to be me and my colleague Janette from our marketing team in Helsinki.
Okay. So you have the another speaker from Helsinki coming up, eh? To
Absolutely. Yeah.
join you. Okay. So that means 7th of April will be on Thursday. Just
Yes.
just for the information, 7th of April is on Thursday. Okay, and
Yeah.
it's 12 noon GST, Gulf Standard Time.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Kurale.
Thank you.
Let's share
Yeah,
the.
you can find this on my LinkedIn page. I have just posted it a couple of days ago as well, and I'm going to continue reminding people about it as well. But yeah, so far we have lots of people joining the webinar. Yeah.
Okay, I will
I'll
register.
be happy to see your listeners as well, Mastura herself, to
Yes,
join that webinar as well.
yes. Yeah.
And for with the skills on demand for digital marketeers, of course, communication skills,
Uh-huh.
because there's a lot to marketing, and you have to be always on top of the game, on top of the trends. Um, and you need to know how to communicate the message, how to translate the message to the customers. Social media, of course, that's a whole different game. It's like a whole different world. You can basically be only social media marketeer, and
Mm.
that would be a professional already, because there's lots going on there. You are interacting directly with the consumer. It's live conversation. There's lots of also data analytics involved in here, content creation skills, and social media is like Google has its own algorithms. So
Mm-hmm.
each social media platform, Instagram has its own, Facebook has its own. You have to learn all that. So there's a big game in social media as well. And as I mentioned, with the pandemic, it became even more popular and more on demand. People consume social media content in a bigger scale
Mm-hmm.
nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that's only going to grow with the years to come.
Yeah.
And again, the last one, last but not least, is the basic design skills.
Yes.
So of course, there's some graphic design you need to do, some Photoshop, some free tools like
Yes.
Canva you need to learn how to use. Yeah, and that's very important as well because, as you can see, everything in content has to be presented in a high quality content,
Yeah.
picture, high quality picture. You need to put the text over image, so you need to know how to do that.
Yes.
If you take a picture, you want to edit it to have brighter colors and so on to attract the consumers. Because now it's all about high quality content, high quality picture or video.
Yes.
Again, Mastura was here talking about the reels and TikTok.
Mm.
You need to know how to edit those, how to put some music there. So some designing skills are required as well.
But also, when you talk about the design, this is where sometimes I see the lacking in a lot of companies is that they take that design, they take design as something that is after effect. That means they don't put enough importance on the design. But design is very important because the picture, like what you said, quality, it has to have a proper copywriting. What font do you use? Where do you place it? You know, the rule of two-thirds and all those things. And then how do you attract people straight away to your page, you know, your photo. So and that's why communication is, I think, is communication is anywhere. You have to know how to communicate, but
Yeah,
the design is also a form of communication. The picture is a picture tells thousand words.
absolutely.
Yeah. And
Yes. Yeah.
even when I was doing the artwork for my restream, I mean, the picture that you send, and since I'm using Canva to do all those
Yeah,
things.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Canva is quite. I mean, today people are very lucky because you have Canva and all those things. I remember back 10 years ago, I have to use Adobe Photoshop, AI, Illustrator to do all those things. But now people are very
Oh
lucky.
yeah.
Now people are very
Yeah,
lucky.
true.
Yeah.
True that. And I think the founder of Canva, is she Australian or Malaysian? Malay Australian.
Oh,
The
really?
lady, one of the richest women in the world, under 30. I think she's above 30 now, but still, it's. I read her story once, and then I listened to the podcast about her as well. It's amazing because they started as the design tool for students and the universities
Mm.
to create those slides for the lectures for the lecturers, or to create those. I think it was a student calendar because students were struggling with that. And me personally, I once tried to learn Photoshop and many other tools, but it was a pain.
Yeah,
It
I
was
see.
quite painful.
Yeah, yeah. Can
I know the basics.
are you done with this page? Can I hide the page?
Yes, we can,
All right, all right.
yeah, I'm gonna stop
Yeah,
sharing it. Yeah,
yeah, so that we can see you more clearly rather
more of
than
us.
just some
Yeah,
some tiny boxes there, you know. Okay, so this
yeah,
is where I like Canva. And people are very fortunate now because you have a lot of app to do the editing, whether it's video or whether it's photo and all those things. You have the automatic background remover. So
yeah,
many things is available, and I just don't see people. I don't see people giving excuses right now for not producing quality work because there are a lot of,
exactly.
yeah, there are a lot of things that has
Yeah,
assisted or make the turnaround time for production very very fast. It's just that people
yes,
need to put their creative hat in terms of content creation and the design. But that is
exactly.
the top seven skills that you're talking about earlier. But coming back to the SEO
Yeah,
and all those things. Maybe you can you talk about SEO auditing and all things. Maybe you can share a little bit about this SEO thingy because a lot of website is relying on SEO. How fast they bite your website, and then how fast your website is going to be at the top of the search, right? Yeah. Maybe you can just
yeah,
mention slightly less.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, that is going to be. I think. Yeah. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I think it's going to be We're gonna cover it more during our webinar, but I'm just gonna give also a high information on that. SEO is consistent in different multiple factors, but a few most important ones are on-page optimization,
Mm-hmm.
on-page quality and structure of the website. So what's happening on page? Then there is a external, so that's off-page. They call it as well, external links. There is off-page information. Then there is a technical part like a page speed and so on. Those are three main factors, pretty much. So if you build your website around it, or you have already a website and you want to optimize it, and you optimize it around those three factors,
Mm-hmm.
there are again lots of tools that can help you to have a high level information on what is wrong on each of those factors in each of those groups. Like for example, if on page and tells you like your headlines are poor, you didn't include the keywords in some pages, your meta tags and meta description or alternative text for the media is not included for this and this and this picture that you need to include.
I see.
And then technically it tells you, for example, you have too many JavaScripts and so on. So if you look at those websites online that are available to check on your SEO, current SEO situation, you can quickly find out what is wrong with each of those factors and
Mm-hmm.
go back to your website if you build it yourself or if you have a company who does it for you and advise them to fix those.
Okay. So
And
I
that is something SEO just, yeah,
no, I have a question. You talk about
absolutely.
metadata. You talk about metadata just now. So that means, let's say the photo, the one that I use for the stream promotion and those things, before I upload to my IG or before I upload to my Instagram, I mean to my YouTube. So you are suggesting that I go into the metadata and then put the keywords inside the metadata, and then after that save it and then upload it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that would be the best because every image has the name, right?
Yes.
So if you just upload an image that has an img-013
Uh-uh.
name,
Uh-huh.
not JPG as a format, it would be best always to upload the file as a name, as a keyword containing in it,
Ah,
with the spaces as the dashes, for example, because that is something that analytical tools on Google or Instagram or whatever they read it. That's the data they're reading from,
okay.
because as a robot they don't see the content, they cannot translate the content with their eyes like we humans are. Like we see,
Um,
oh, this is a pretty picture and it has this warm color, so it must be about coffee, for example, right? It has
yeah.
those like your background.
Yes,
that's
yes,
that's
yes.
what it transmits to me right now, but
Yeah.
robots, they cannot read that.
Uh-uh.
So there is something that is very important, but it's just a very tiny small piece in the whole SEO system or machine as a SEO
Okay.
optimization. So yeah, there's lots of factors, and we're gonna cover the basics of that in our webinar. And that is again like a social media marketing. It's a completely different ball game. You can become a SEO specialist, and that will be a whole different profession. It's like a kind of engineer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it also includes the creative part to it, because you would be working with optimizing the content on the website, the best
Mm.
for your customer. You will be optimizing the digital journey of the customer on that website to
Okay.
save the clicks. So as a customer, I need something. I want to learn it quickly. I want to acquire it quickly. I don't want to spend 20 minutes clicking on multiple pages to get there. So you need to optimize that journey and experience, and yeah,
Mm.
like chat boxes and so on.
Okay.
uh, so there is a lot behind it as well for the SEO. But one thing to highlight for the SEO, lots of people think that it is something that could be a quick fix, right? You have a list of issues, you fix them and it's done, and you're on the first page, you're on the first position of Google. It doesn't come that easy. SEO, search engine optimization takes time, and by time I mean it could take 3, 5, 6 months for
Ah,
you to reach the first page, and maybe you won't even reach it in 6 months. So it's something that is really requiring lots of work, especially if you are in a highly competitive market.
okay. All right. I mean, I learned something new. All this while, I use the metadata of you in Photoshop. You know, you put all the metadata so that it becomes your copyright before you send to client and all those things. But I learned something today. So I have to go back and put all those metadata. Only then I upload to my IG and my YouTube and my
Yeah.
Facebook. Okay, thank you, Kuralay, for sharing that
Oh,
with us. It's a great
pretty
info.
hard.
It's a great info. I mean, you know about it. I mean, people like me, I know about it, but I didn't do it.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
So
great.
yeah. Okay. We are coming up to the 1 hour of our time. I'm not going to wrap up. I will just spend less time to wrap up because um,
Yeah,
you're sending so much. You're giving so much information
yeah.
and knowledge up here during this stream. Uh, the question is that number one, how does one become a digital marketing expert? Can you write sum up? How does it, because there are two questions that we're going to answer. We promise to answer our audiences, right? Oh wow, the number of audiences is quite high today. Okay, so two questions that we promise our audiences. Number one is the how do we become a digital marketing expert, and number two,
Mhm.
the seven top skills. I think we spend there using the Michael Page website,
Yeah,
but maybe you can sum up in five
absolutely.
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
So how to become one is of course the basic rule of thumb is you have a passion for it, because with digital marketing constantly evolving, and the tools, analytics, and the games on different platforms is completely different from year to year. So you need to have a passion for it and drive, not
Mhm.
to learn it once and then have that certificate and that's it. It is more like a continuous learning. Even me, every day I learn something new, and like you as well, Dr. Faisal, you learn something new to improve your digital marketing, to bring your podcast, your information to more people.
Yeah.
So that is something you need to learn on every day. And I would say next steps, more practical, would be, apart from studying it and practicing it as well, to continue learning. So you subscribe to different channels. I'm subscribed, for example, for a couple of digital marketing gurus. One of them being a CEO, founder of Semrush, Neil Patel, who is constantly delivering bite-sized information that is sometimes is really um, mind blowing for
Okay.
marketeers. Some small tips and tricks. Sometimes it's just some general information, but it is useful as well.
Yeah.
And then there are different blogs. Then you can always upgrade your skills by taking up new courses, joining the free webinars like the one that we have upcoming on 7th of April, following marketeers on LinkedIn or Instagram pages, following companies that you really like. For example, let's say AirAsia, you
Mhm.
know how they do their marketing, and you want to learn from them. Just follow them, subscribe to their newsletter, and when you receive it, you see how they do it. What is the subject line they're using? What are the pictures? What is the structure of newsletter, and so on. That's just to take one, for example, one channel. Follow them on Instagram, to see what kind of content and how often they do it. So
Mhm.
that's something you can learn directly on daily basis. Connect with the like-minded people. Yeah, the groups, join. There's so many Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups you can join. I'm
Okay, yeah,
personally,
it's good.
I think,
Yeah,
in 5 marketing groups on LinkedIn. Those are only for MENA region. Yes, and yeah, stay up to date with trends. That's and then of course when you practice, try to find some gigs, internships, when you also, if you have already started your career in digital marketing, I think you pretty much know that there are also different kind of recruiting agencies that can help you with that. You can start your own project, like creating portfolio and putting it all online and marketing yourself, or for
Mhm.
your businesses as well.
Mhm.
And for the skills, I would say we have highlighted the 7 of them, but the most important ones are the content creation, the data analytics, and yes, and then knowing how to communicate it,
Yes.
because it's still part of marketing. So you need to have a strategy, consistency, and the language you use, both in graphic design and the text-wise in the copywriting. And it all revolves around one person, a consumer. So
Yeah,
you need
true.
to know the profile of the consumer, how to speak to them.
Yeah. No, actually, basically,
Yeah,
when it comes to consumer, we sometimes we forgot that we are also consumer. If we
exactly.
like looking at it, so there's high chance, high likely that other people like to look at it as well. But if we don't like to
Yeah,
see it, then most likely our viewers, I mean the customer don't like to see it. But you are right
absolutely.
about applying and all those things. In fact, I can share with you a secret now is no longer a secret because we are going live. I've done a video live streaming, and inshallah I will be doing podcasting soon. I don't know, I hope it's
Yes,
not too late, to go into podcasting, but I will be launching it on April 1st.
and I'm
Try,
looking forward to that. Yeah, it's never too late.
yeah.
Podcasting is something really cool, and yeah, I'll be looking forward to that.
But it's not easy, like what you said, content creation is a, you really have to really design, have a proper strategy, and then you have to design your cover so that the cover is attractive enough, and then and it has to appear on all those various platform, and then trying to find the
Yeah,
best platform, and
yeah,
the keywords, the tagging, like what you said, the SEO and all those things, which I look forward to see you during the what you call that, the seminar, the webinar, and I believe
yeah,
Mastura also will register, and
yeah.
I will later I will put the link in my YouTube so that whoever that is viewing it, and it will be there, and I will put it also. You can put it, you can post it in the comment section of my YouTube, and also in the Facebook and LinkedIn, so that my viewers, your viewers can pick up
Yeah,
from there. All right.
absolutely.
I hope we have covered the two topics, the two questions that we promised our
I hope
viewers.
so. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
hope
was
so.
a lot to take on, but I hope we did it.
Yes, yes, within 1 hour and 2 minutes, but it's okay. We started
Yeah.
3 minutes past, so we still have 1 more minute. Kuralay, there's one more
Thank you,
question.
Farah. Thank you.
There's one more question, yeah,
Yeah.
that we are supposed to answer, but that one will be next, the next session, right? So before we go, I just take some comments
Ah,
that's coming
which
in.
which one is it?
Insightful session as always, Farah Faisal. Thank you, Farah, for being here.
Yes.
Mastura, thank you for being here. She also said that she's also using Canva for the company ad. Just
Yeah.
let me check on my on the WhatsApp that we discussed the other day. There are three things that we want to discuss, and we decided to take only the first
Ah,
two.
yeah, there was a third one. Correct.
Yeah, so the third one will be how to become digital marketing expert, digital marketing skills on demand, digital marketing branding. That is something that we are supposed to talk about. Did we cover that?
The
Or
third one, digital marketing and branding.
yeah, yeah. So what we'll do is that after the Eid celebration, what we'll do is that I will bring you back, and we will talk about digital marketing branding. I hope you are okay with that, because I don't want to be uh, bothering you too many times. But I hope you are more than happy to come back
No,
and
I'll do that with pleasure.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kuralay.
It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Okay, there's one more last coming in. Great dog on your podcast launch, yeah, inshallah, on the 1st April.
Yeah.
It's an April Fool's Day. All right. Finally, thank you very much, Kuralai, for being with us again for the second time, and thank you for your insight, and for your kind sharing, and these are the things that we are looking for, especially in today. And there's a very strong engagement from viewers, from Mastura especially, and thank you, Mastura, for staying with us. And please don't leave yet. I will get back to you shortly. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Okay, viewers, that's the what we have for tonight. I know we have exceeded the live. Usually it's about 1 hour, but now we have 5 minutes past, and I hope the session has been beneficial. And for all the viewers, this live stream will be coming in. It is live on YouTube and Facebook. And before we go for midnight coffee, wish you all the best, and please stay safe, and be vigilant of the surrounding. we are still in the pandemic. Although we are moving into endemic slowly. With that, have a pleasant evening. A good night to everyone. For Kuralay, which is in Dubai, is now 5 minutes past 9. A very pleasant evening to you, and to the Malaysian, a very pleasant morning, Sunday morning. God bless, and please stay safe. Thank you for viewing Midnight Coffee with Faisal.
Thank you, everyone. That's a wrap.